Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with my Dress Up Darling Season 2 Episode 8 reaction. Alright, the previous episode we had Marine gaining weight. Obviously that is why her manager, and everyone else were like, you need to, you know, keep your weight under control because she has a model. There's a lot of other things, a lot of different photo shoot that she'll have to go through, especially in summer. So she'll need to keep the weight under check. That is why mine has decided not to do cosplay, but that doesn't stop her from going and attending cosplay. So she's just going to attend cosplay and snap pictures. And that is why the second part of the video, which was mine bought a DSLR camera. And Gojo at first was kind of skeptical, but then when he saw how good it is, he was like, oh, this is pretty fun. And he actually got into it more. So that's the current situation. Gojo now wants to go to this the cosplay convention, and he's going to meet this person called Akira, who is a person who has made a lot of good props, and Gojo's really liked it, so he came in contact with Akira and they have decided to meet there. So let's see. I'm guessing we're going to see the cosplay convention today. Let's begin. I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here. Sync it to whichever is your preference, and let's begin. Okay, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Beginning of December. Alright, here we go. Okay. Okay. I'm pretty sure this is a woman. Because Akira is a gender neutral name. So the fact that they're not showing the face means there's a possibility it's a woman. There you go. Right. He actually wrote a paragraph. Crazy. Hmm. The only way I can think of to express that gratitude is money. Okay. I just finished. Oh, there you go. Oh, yeah. There's a whole queue behind her. Him, sorry. Well, I don't know. What do you do in this situation? Just say you need to go to the washroom. Oh, there you go. Mine's here. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, the fangs. Yeah, what? Yep. What? What happened? Right. Oh my god. Yeah, what? How? Okay, you. Right. Alright. Oh, that's where the title comes from. Discussing stuff? What? Cut off the line whenever you want. Oh, right. Okay, that makes sense. If you're looking the other direction, nobody will. Hmm. Right. Okay, there you go. What? Oh, maybe it's yeah. Wait, what? Go, she mistook Gojo to be a high school girl? Oh my god. Wait, Gojo's title. What is Gojo's last name? I forgot. Oh, Wakana. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Her. His name is also pretty. It's I guess gender neutral. You could say. Who's this? That's a. Oh damn! Wait. Wait, that was a one of the basketball manga references, right? I don't know which one exactly. Is it Slam? What are you talking about? Wait, what? This girl is something else. Is it Kuroko no Basket or Slam Dunk? Which reference is this? I don't know. Ah, damn. Oh, right. Yeah. What? Yeah, I guess taking like a lower angle, like yeah, yeah. Well, obviously, if you're crouching down, mhm. Yeah. So it's from up, right? Okay. So Akida, I'm yeah, and same for her. Yeah, 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 yeah. That's the real name. Hmm. Or maybe it's like a original character. Oh, so yeah, there you go. Oh, see. Okay. Yeah. Copyright cosplay. Crazy. Yep. Yeah. Original character. Yep. It's the same for art as well. But mm, what? He just stopped speaking. That's why he stopped midway. Yeah, he realized it. He was like, "What I'm trying to say might come off as very rude." Yep. What? It's just half. Yeah, you draft. Yeah. Okay. I'm guessing she's in her. in their group because they said that they have a friend who is into props, or maybe I don't know. Up? Yeah. She's coming from there. Wait, does she know her or something? Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's in their group. Akia's in Suzuka's group. Does she know Marin? What's going on? Yeah, there you go. Okay, they're in the same group. Bonkers coincidence. What's happening? Why are they acting so weird as soon as Marin came in? Oh, she's acting weird because she thought there's a girl. Okay. Oh boy. Alright, this girl is something else. What's going on here? I'm so confused. Do they know each other? Probably not. Mine doesn't recognize. That's her? Yeah. Okay. Well, it's kind of self-explanatory. Hmm. Collab cafe. Well, okay. Why is she acting like this? Oh, food. Um, what's going on? What's? Oh, well, yeah. He's like, wait, I'm not the only one. Yeah. Well, well, yeah. Right. Well, okay, mine will be cosplaying there, I think. Is it like a anime or something? Oh, it's a horror game. There you go. Yeah, mine will be cosplaying as them. Yeah. How would remade? Well, Marin can also. Okay, what's happening here? Hmm. Well, it's a non-cosplay. You like it. It doesn't matter. It's a non-cosplay. Unsweetened oolong tea and a salad. Okay. Um. Oh, maybe one of the one of those girls. What's her name? Her. I forgot her name from season one. Right? There she is. That's her, right? Yep. There you go. Hmm. That's it. All right, and there you go. That was today's episode. So today we had um we met Akira today. We got to know that she actually isn't a boy; it's a girl. And similarly, like that, how Gojo mistook her to be a guy, she mistook him to be a girl. So it was like a, like a mix up. But anyways, they met, and they were talking about all of that stuff, and and then we had Marin and the other girls decide to have a group cosplay where they're going to cosplay as Coffin. Yeah, that's the name. As one of the characters from Coffin. They were like 6 nuns, I think they said, and a few of the uh, people who will be cosplaying has kind of is not be will not be able to cosplay, so they needed more people. So yeah, that's why Marin is like, okay, let me do it. Not mine, but we had what's his name? I forgot his name. The guy, the one who cross dresses. Him. He is going to cosplay, and at the same time, mine was kind of hesitating because she was like, I don't want to cosplay. I'm like my weight and all that. But it's a non cosplay. It's not really it's not really that much of a big deal. You cannot really see, or it's because it's like a non cosplay, so you won't be able to properly see whether you've gained weight or anything. So that's not a problem. So yeah, that's why. Another thing that was bothering mine was the amount of time. They didn't really have much time. So when they were like, oh, why don't you just like wear like a pre-made one, uh, and yeah, Gojo was like, fine, let's like go ahead, because I doubt it'll be that quickly Gojo will be able to make like a dress from scratch, right? So they decided to go with a pre-made one. Um, and they decided to invite Juju as well. I forgot her name for a moment. She came in season one. I forgot her name. Right. So they have all the participants that will be participating now. But there's one thing that I don't understand, which I'm guessing they'll reveal later. What's going on? Like, what's up with Akira? And whenever someone mentions Marin, she acts a bit, in a weird way. Like, at first she was like trying to hide her face from Marin, but then Marin like at that point I thought like maybe she knew Marin or something, but then Marin literally talked to her face to face. So I'm pretty sure Marin saw her, and if Marin knew her, Marin would like comment about it. Marin didn't say anything, so maybe I don't know. I have no idea why she's acting like that. Okay, not only that, the fact that even her friends were acting like that is also pretty unusual. I don't understand what's going on. Like, what is happening? Like, it's one thing to I don't know. Like, it's one thing for her to react like that. Maybe there's some kind of a reason, but even her friends are reacting like that. So what's going on? Like, people act like that when someone has like a beef with someone, but mine seems pretty chill. Mine, I probably met her for the first time. So what's happened? You know what? I have no idea. Also, they even her friends were all of them were like, oh, like Akira and Marin together. Like what? I okay. You know what? Let's wait. I have no idea what's going on here. Why are they acting like that? Not only her, but even her friends are acting like that. So you know, I genuinely have no idea. Anyways, so yeah, that's the current situation. So we will now have the non cosplay, and it turns out this time it's not an anime; it's a game, right? As they mentioned. And yeah, it's called Coffin. Okay, let me go to that place where they mention. Okay, so here we go. What is Coffin? Coffin is a horror game with some nuns living together, and they keep getting killed one by one, and you're trying to figure out who's behind it. Oh, so the nuns get killed. Okay, so it's a mystery horror game. Mirata, Sochisa, Rose, um, Char, Emma, Claire, and Sophia. One, two, three, four, five, six. Yeah, six of them. Okay, so wait a minute. So they. Okay, how many of them do we have here? One, two. If you include mine, three, four. You use five. And is Akira cosplaying as well? I guess then it's six, right? Yeah. Hmm. Okay. That'll. Yeah, I think Akira's also cosplaying, right? I don't know. I think so. Anyways, so yeah, I guess that's how, like, all of the, they'll be able to cosplay all six of them. Okay. So yeah, there you go. That's what we are doing this time. Now, okay, yeah. So there you go. That was basically today's episode. Now, a few things to talk about in today's episode. First and foremost, obviously, Gojo's misunderstanding. Gojo thought it's a boy, no Akira, because the name, it's such a gender neutral name. There's girls named Akira, boys named Akira as well. So and seeing like the cosplay and everything, he thought that it's a boy. So he, like, that was what he thought. However, Akira thought it's a girl because of the name Wakana. Wakana, which is, yeah, I guess it is a little bit of a, like, a, it can be interpreted as a feminine name. So yeah, like if he used Gojo, then she would realize that it's a boy. But he used Wakana. So that's why she thought that it's a girl, it's a high school girl or something. So both of them were under a misunderstanding. Yeah, and while all of this is going on, we had Marin meet up with Suzuka and the other ones, and then we had you know what? I need to check his name. What's his name? Is it Ayato? Let me double check. No, never mind. It's not Ayato. It's something else. What was the name? I know the character's name that he was cosplaying as Subaru before. So just a minute. This show has a lot of characters, which is, like, and I that's why I don't remember a lot of the names. Um. Okay, so oh, Chitose Aman. No, what? Chitose Amano. Yeah, his cosplay name is Himeno, which I remember. But his actual name is Chitose Amano. I think I would forget it again. It's a pretty difficult name to remember. Chitose. Okay. Chitose. Okay, Chitose. So yeah, so while we were having the whole Akira situation over there, Chitose was cosplaying over here. We had, Mine's friend Suzuka, right? She was also here. And she didn't know. She was like, "Wait, what the hell? That's a boy?" And she was very, like, surprised. I love how she has a certain way of speaking, which is like, it's pretty funny. She seems pretty, like, chill about everything. But when she gets agitated, I'm talking about Suzuka. When she gets agitated, she has a very distinct way she speaks, which is it's pretty, like, like she speaks in a pretty, like, unique way, where she, like, starts saying stuff like, where's that part? Where she starts saying stuff like, "Oh, that's very lewd," or something like that, even though that's not the case at all. Here we go. Yeah, she says that that's a boy. Holy crap! And then she says, "I'm so glad to be alive. I literally owe you my life right now." Not only he cute, but so lewd. Okay, that makes no sense. He's so lewd. I'm worried that I might get arrested. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, she has a very distinct way of reacting. The only way I can think of expressing that gratitude is with money. She does this again later on. If you see, when she gets excited about seeing Gojo, she says something like, "Oh, a high school wall in the wild," or something like that. She says, "Where's that part?" Here we go. She says, "A real life high school boy in the wild." Yo, right. yeah, she has that distinct way of like, like geeking out, like, which is pretty common, and usually you see in, like, characters, like in anime characters, doing characters who are usually like an otaku, or like, like, those type of characters. Usually in anime we see these characters, they're usually male characters, these otaku geeks, so it's very unique to see girls as well in this show actually reacting like that. Because we're just accustomed to seeing boys react like this. You just go to any type of show where there's a main character who's like a very, like, hardcore otaku. Like, well, let me think. um okay, a very common example is Steins Gate. If you have seen Steins Gate, Daru is one of those character. Like, he says some like wild things like most of the times, and like has a lot of ways he abbreviates words, a lot of memes and lingos that he use, that, like, only otaku, like, people who are in this type of a thing, they'll be able to understand. you know so it's like that. And you see this multiple times in a lot of other animes where, like, male characters who are usually very hardcore, like, otakus, they like act like this and talk like this. So it's very interesting to see a girl here who, like, acts like this, like, who otherwise, who will say stuff like this, like a real life high school boy in the wild. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty funny because, outward, look at her outwardly, she seems very like chill and everything, but inside she's like this. And Marin is pretty open about her, like, like things. So you've just gotten accustomed to Marin. So when Marin says stuff like this, it's not even that unusual because you're just accustomed to it. But seeing other characters saying stuff like this is pretty funny. Like, yeah, she does remind me, like, of a of like a, what do you call it, like a watered down version of mine. Like her, like the way she reacts to stuff. Mine reacts in a crazy way, and she's pretty, like, but she's it makes sense, how she's Mine's friend, and they're literally the same, these two. But anyways, that was Suzuka, and then we had this girl as well who is cosplaying as one of the guys in a baseball, not baseball, sorry, basketball anime. Now I'm pretty sure that was a reference to Kuroko no Basket, probably, or maybe Slam Dunk. I have no idea. I don't usually read like sports manga or animes. I don't read or watch sports manga animes. Like, so any type of sports manga I have no idea about. So, but I'm pretty sure it's a Kuroko no Basket reference, or maybe Slam Dunk. I have no idea. Either of those two, maybe. With the red hair and everything. It's probably Kuroko no Basket because I remember in Kuroko no Basket seeing a character like that, like a red-haired character, I think. Yeah. So it's probably a Kuroko no Basket reference. But yeah, there you go. That was that. And then she's also going to be cosplaying, I guess, with them. Yeah. Now, all right. Now, a few other things. Um, we had Aoi here who was kind of explaining a few things. She won't be able to participate. I think they mentioned later on that she won't be able to participate because she's kind of busy with her work. And yeah, and that's why, like, Marin and we had Chitose, both of them will be participating. They're calling Juju as well, so that's good. And if Juju comes, I'm guessing her sister is also going to come to take pictures, maybe. I think so. Her sister. I forgot her name as well. So yeah, right now. So there you go. That was the situation with the cosplay. Now let's talk about Akira. So, like I said, I cannot figure out what's up with Akira and why she reacted. Like, everything was pretty normal up until Marin came into the picture. So, like I said, at first I thought like maybe she knew Marin or something, but then Marin literally talked to her like directly, and Marin couldn't recognize her. So I'm guessing that's not the case. It's something else. Something else is going on, which I have no idea. Like, she's acting in a very weird way. Like, at first she was like trying to like hide her face, and then it seemed like she was like, I don't know, like everyone was like talking in a very like very like whispery way. They're like whispering to each other. They're like, even Suzuka, she also was like, oh my god, what the hell, Akira and Mine together? Like, I have no idea what's going on. Like, what's throwing me the most off is the fact that Mine is pretty normal about it. If Mine was also acting in a weird way, I could, it could mean like, oh yeah, maybe they have like a past, they knew each other or something. That would make sense. The fact that Mine is completely normal and chill about it, and that only she and her friends are reacting like that, I have no idea why. Like, I have no idea. Anyways, let's just wait. I feel like they'll reveal what's going on here, you know. But yeah, you can see like she's like just keeping quiet, and like there's like a weird aura going around her suddenly, now that Mine is in the picture. So, right. Okay, now there's another thing that like Akira, you could see that like Akira and Gojo, when they were talking with each other about the whole thing, Akira said something about how her cosplays are not really that good or something like that. She said, she was like, oh, like my cosplay is nothing to talk about or something like that. She says it's nothing like that unique or something. Where's that part? And Gojo like said that, oh no, like that's okay. Where's that part? Here it is. Yeah, so when Gojo asks like, "Oh, what anime is this?" She's like, "It's not an anime; it's an original character." Oh, so here's another thing: the whole talk about original characters and everything. What she said is also very like common in art as well, as far as I know. So basically, she says like, obviously there's this copyrighted, as she calls it, which is like, oh, characters that already exist. For example, characters which everyone knows, like you know like like any anime characters like like Naruto, like Goku from Dragon Ball. Who else? Like the most popular shows like Mikasa from Attack on Titan. All these characters, these are like these are existing characters. You just cosplay as them. That's the number one thing. Number two is occupational cosplay. I think that's what she calls it, which is just like, oh, someone just wearing like a maid outfit or like a policewoman outfit or like a nurse outfit. Like these type of things, which is something that is also considered cosplay, because obviously it's like a like it's like a different, oh, maid outfit as well. It's like something that's very popular in anime and stuff like that. So that's another type of cosplay. And then we have the third type, which is the original character, or OC as they call it, um, which is something that you think up from your own head, and it's like an original character. It's the same with art as well, as far as I know, because obviously you have artists who draw like characters which already exists. Then they have like like other different characters like which they make from their own head, which becomes like the original character or their OC. So that kind of thing. So she mentioned that, and then this is where she says that I like designs catered to men, and then she says like, I appreciate your praise, but my cosplay is not that impressive. And then she says that to top it off, I use traditional Japanese designs and Japanese swords. That's been done to death. There's nothing original. And yeah, so basically her point is like, oh yeah, I'm just doing things that people have done already. It's nothing new. It's just like just nothing to talk about. Right. So this is where Gojo tries to say that, oh, that's completely fine, that's how it should be, or something like that he was going to say, and then he realized how rude it sounded, because he's basically saying that, oh yeah, you're right, but that's not how he wants it to sound like. It's it seems like he's insulting her, because she's saying something negative about her, and if he says like, yeah, that's right, that would be pretty rude. So he realized what it would sound like, so he just stopped mid sentence and started stuttering. Akira's like, yeah, speak. Don't worry about it. Um, yeah, and then Gojo's like, okay, so right, that might be true, but I was impressed, And then he says the other stuff, and he's like, yeah, it's pretty good, like like I like it very much. I like how, yeah, and that is why I reached out to you, because it was so good. I wanted to know more about them. Right. So, yeah, and then they were talking about all of that and how Gojo was impressed by her props and everything, and Gojo had like a whole draft of more stuff that he wanted to discuss with her. He already sent a paragraph, but she's like, "Oh, I have one more paragraph," which I didn't send you, by the way. And this is where mine comes in. So like then this whole like Akira starts acting weird. So that whole section happens. Um, right. Another thing that Gojo and Akira were talking about was about the way they speak. So Gojo's like, "Oh, I used ore," which is obviously a masculine way of speaking. But then Akira's like, "Yeah, but a lot of people do that. Like for example, a lot of like obviously this is something that is not really very like oh, you have to do it like this. It's not like that. Like a lot of girls usually use watashi, and boys use boku or ore. So but you must have seen a lot of girls also using ore and boku, while a lot of boys also using watashi. Also, watashi is another way of like speaking with respect. So I think like when you go to like some place where like maybe there's like like maybe you go to like a place where you're buying something, like the employees, and they will say watashi, which is like a more formal way of speaking. So it's like it's kind of like that, I guess. And that is why Gojo was like, but yeah, I said ore, but why did you think I was a girl? Because like a girl won't really use ore. At which Akira's like, but yeah, a lot of people do use that nowadays. At which like Gojo was like, yeah, true, because this the guy in the shop, he uses watashi, while we have this like this other girl, yeah, Usami-san uses watashi, and Liz-kyun uses boku. Yeah. So there you go. So this it's like it's not really like that a hard and fast rule. You can use whatever you're comfortable with. Right. So yeah. So that was another thing. Now, so there you go. That was all about Akira. Like I said, there's still a few things that they haven't explained why Akira's acting like that. So let's wait and see what that actually is about. What is the whole thing with her and mine? Why is she reacting like that whenever anything like related to mine is coming up? Also, like that, that's all well and good. Why the hell is her friends also reacting like that? That also I don't understand. So let's wait and see. Now, okay. So yeah, so that was Akira, that was Gojo. Then we also met a few other characters here, like like Suzuka, and then we met this girl, the girl who was cosplaying the basketball guy. Um, yeah, and now we are having a little cosplay in the the coffin cosplay that we have. Okay, another thing I want to talk about is the whole section where they talk about like dolls. This is where Gojo's like, what? She has a doll with her? She carries it around with her? She talks to it? And he's like, wait a minute. I thought I was the only person who did that. So other people also do that. And he was pretty, happy about the fact that, oh, like it's not just me, other people also do that. And yeah, I guess like I guess it depends on how like like how what type of personality you have, or like how deeply attached to them you are. Like obviously a lot of people have a lot of like anime figures and all that, anime dolls and all that stuff, but they just have that and they just keep it like as showpieces, and like just sometimes maybe looks at them, you know and yeah, there you go, that's the extent. And then we have a lot of other people who might have these dolls which they kind of take a lot of care with, always keep it with them, like as we are seeing this girl, and maybe sometimes talk to them or something. you know so yeah, it depends on the like how much you are like attached to it, I guess. And not only that, like like you can be attached a lot to your figurines, but there's no hard and fast rule that you have to talk to it. I guess it depends on you, you know, like what you usually do, and like, yeah. So some people who talk to it, maybe some people who just appreciate looking at it. So yeah, that kind of thing. And mine was also talking about how she has her stuff, her dolls as well. I love how mine speaks. It's sometimes so confusing, but then you realize what she's talking about. This part. Okay, just listen to it. She says, oh, where's that part? Here we go. um Gojo-kun also brought yours to school, right? Okay, that part. Not that part. Wait a minute. Okay, where's that part where mine starts talking about? Here we go. She says, I put some on my Shiontan Nui. Okay, so at first I was like, what is she saying? What is Nui? And then I realized, Nui means Nuigurumi, which is obviously in Japanese, like, Nuigurumi means like soft toys, I guess you could say, or little dolls. So that is called Nuigurumi. So she's shortening that to Nui. At first, I was so confused. I couldn't understand what she means by Nui. She calls it Shion Tan Nui. Obviously, Shion, it's that character. Shion Tan. Tan is the honorific that she uses, like in a cutesy way, like, oh, Shion Tan. But I was confused at the Nui part, and then I realized she's talking about a Nui Gurumi, which is like a soft toy or a doll. That's what she's shortened to Nui. That's why she calls it Shiontan Nui. And that's why I'm saying it's such a funny way. She speaks in such a distinct way, and I have to give props. Like like I've seen a lot of gyarus in a lot of animes. I feel like mine is probably like expression wise and expressiveness wise, she's probably like the best, like gyaru character I've ever seen in anime. Like I've seen a lot of gyaru characters in anime, and they have obviously the distinct way of speaking and everything, but mine is something else. And I feel like it's probably highlighted because she's like a whole otaku as well. you know it's more highlighted because of that, because she gets so excited about these things. So right. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Anyways, so yeah, that's the part where they were talking about dolls, and Gojo was like, "Oh my God, it's not only me. Other people also, like talk to their dolls." Oh boy. And you can see this girl, the girl, like who was cosplaying as the who had the doll with her. You know, there's a certain section where she was like saying like because of the stress it gets to her, that's why she keeps the doll with her. Which, yeah, it makes sense. She all of these, like like these characters, they're like work. They're actually like working. They're like in the workforce. They have like their jobs and stuff. So obviously, unlike Marin and Goju, who are like students, so they have a lot of stress going on in their life. Like job stress and all that. So yeah, makes sense. She keeps it with her to give it like to keep her head a little bit, like calm, and to, you know, yeah. It's like mental support. Right. Yeah, and I think that is it. I think I discussed most of the stuff. Let me check. Oh, okay. Chitose's section at the beginning, I didn't talk about that much. So Chitose's section was pretty interesting because, like obviously he was like snapping pictures, but then he was like, what the hell? There's like a whole queue and the queue is keeping on increasing. How do I stop it? Which is a good question because obviously, like, you need to say like, oh, you know what? That's enough. I have somewhere to go. So he was so confused, he didn't know what to do. This, which is why Suzuka comes in, and Suzuka tells us what we actually do in this situation. So basically, you cut off the line, and how you cut off the line is that you tell like the final person who comes in, and if you decide that, oh, you know what, this is it, I don't want any more people, you tell that person that, oh, you please cut off the line, and that person rotates and looks at the other side and stands there. So anyone who comes in, they'll realize that, oh, that's it. This person, this cosplayer is not, uh, like taking any more people like request to take pictures, because they're looking at the other way. So they understand that and they move on. So that's how you do it, I guess. So that's a pretty like interesting way. I yeah, it's a pretty good way as well. Like you just like you, you see someone looking at the direction, even though they were queuing, you realize that, oh, this person is not taking any more people, so let me move on to someone else. And yeah, this is also where um Chitose talks about, like her, like like the accessories that he was using, like the moles, the fan. Oh, this fan thing, this is something I don't know if you guys remember, like, but people who have been watching anime for a while, there was a time period where the one fang became extremely popular, like in anime. I remember, like like it was like extreme exploded in popularity, like one fang that characters have sometimes, like yaiba they call it. So it's, like there was a time when people were going crazy about it and they were like, oh my god, that's so cute, like one fang, like so yeah, I guess that's why, like that's that what we were seeing here, that one fang that she had, it was basically that. Right. Okay, and yeah, there you go. And that was that section about Chitose. Oh, another thing I forgot to mention, which was mine also realized how fun it is to take pictures when she realized that, oh, instead of just taking pictures like this, there's different ways you can take pictures. Like for example, if you're taking a picture from downside, it's like more masculine, like like the leg is longer, the head is shorter. And if you want to make the pictures look more cutesy, you take from the upper side, and that's why Chitose was like going down and kneeling down when he was taking pictures and looking up like this, which makes it look more cute. Like different angles, different way of taking pictures, which highlights, instead of like just taking the same like landscape or portrait photograph, like different angles and everything, it looks different, like the whole vibe changes. So yeah, and mine was pretty excited. Mine was like, oh, I'm also pretty excited, different ways to take pictures and all that. Right. Okay, and yeah, there you go. That was it. That was my reaction to episode number 8 of My Dress Up Darling Season 2. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, or you haven't subscribed, comment down below. Anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know, I'll check them out. And that is it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week with another episode. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.